targeting the brain of the roach. The larvae will grow feeding on the roach, avoiding its vital organ to keep the roach alive for as long as possible. It will then crawl into its abdomen to spin a cocoon. So just a couple weeks ago when I was hiking, I saw this bizarre scene right here in Taiwan. That is a wasp dragging an unconscious spider across the ground. This is actually a pretty common behavior. One of the most famous ones is the tarantula hawk that does this. You can kind of tell that it's badass just from its name. The first thing about these guys is they're pretty big, up to 5 centimeters long, and they are also one of the most painful stingers in the world. I mean, just look at how long this stinger is. And it will use that stinger to hunt tarantulas, and its target are a lot of times same size or even bigger than itself. The sting is really weird, no matter how many times I look at it. Just take a look. And the target of these wasps are not limited to just spiders or tarantulas. It could be caterpillars, like this one. So why do these wasps do this? My first reaction is they just hunt these spiders for food. But that is actually only half the answer. Remember when I mentioned aliens at the beginning? This is where their story starts. Meet Ampullus compressa, the emerald jewel wasp. A beautiful green colored wasp that's native to Africa and Southeast Asia. They're really like the tarantula hawk that they will sting their prey, paralyze them, and drag them around. But specifically, they hunt cockroaches. And it's the way how these wasps capture cockroaches that makes them really special. The emerald jewel wasp will actually deliver 2 separate stings. The first one will only paralyze the front legs of the roach, and this paralysis will only last for about 2 to 3 minutes. However, before the paralysis wears off, the wasp will deliver a second, much more precise sting, targeting the brain of the roach. After the second sting, the cockroach will no longer perform its usual escape responses, and oddly, will begin to excessively groom itself. You can say the roach has lost its mind. Once the wasp knows the roach is subdued, it will cut off the antenna of the roach. And take a drink of its blood to regain some strength after a successful hunt. Since the roach is too big for the wasp to carry, it will then walk the zombified roach to its burrow. Oddly similar to a person dragging a dog on its leash. Once the roach is inside the nest, the wasp will now perform the final and the most important part of this entire operation. Then it will use the materials that's near its burrow to seal off the nest and be on its way. The larvae will grow feeding on the roach, avoiding its vital organ to keep the roach alive for as long as possible. It will then crawl into its abdomen to spin a cocoon. And finally, a young emerald jewel wasp will emerge from the roach carcass, and the cycle of life continues. That was just so cool and a little bit scary, but just on this channel so far, we have seen ants that farm mushroom for food, cobra that spits venom to protect itself, and ants that doesn't drown when you put it in water. These animals are driven to do these incredible things because they want to maximize their chance of survival. But perhaps there's one thing that's even stronger than that. That is how far animals are willing to go to make sure that their young has the best chance to survive.